Back to life.
Back to reality.
Back to life. Hey, happy late Easter.
Happy late Easter. He is risen.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Hey, guess what? I don't know that story. Do you? I know. Here, let me tell you the story that I know.
Okay.
Jesus dies.
Yep. Step one.
Rough one.
It was rough.
There was a cross.
Technically, it was like an execution, like a torture execution.
Yeah,
you know?
it was not pretty. So he died, and then they put him in a tomb.
Well, yeah. They left him out there, didn't they? And then he died out there, and then I don't know if they put him in a tomb.
I don't know the logistics.
They must have unnailed him, though, because he didn't have a pry bar.
No,
when
they put him in
back.
a tomb. He was put in a tomb.
Okay. I don't know.
Because that's the whole point of Easter. Didn't they put him in a tomb for like 3 days, and then they went back to the tomb, and he was gone. He has risen. And the tomb was open.
I don't know.
Oh, so you don't know either.
I don't know. I just know he died, and then 3 days later, they were like, holy shit, is that Jesus again?
Okay, let me be your Sherpa on this journey, because I did go to church before.
Okay.
And I know that you would burst into flames. So the story goes, homie died. They put him in a tomb. Now, it's not clear to me if it's like one of those like Egyptian tombs where they keep finding the sarcophagi where it's like a brick square on the ground made of limestone, and then there's just like rectangle boulder put on top of it to be like, that's the lid of the tomb. I don't know if it's that, because I always imagined it was a fucking cave. Like they just tossed homie in a cave, and then there was a big round fucking stone that they had to roll back over. But I don't know if that's just like cartoon Stacey brain and saw like the cavemen doing it. I don't know. So he gets put in a tomb, and then they come back 3 days later for some reason, and but also I think
homage.
But I also think that like people were standing guard. I don't really know. And then he wasn't there. So then they're like, "Yay, he has risen," right?
Yeah.
But then this is my question, and I was hoping you would be able to answer, but it's clear to me that you're not. Did they see him rise? Like, is he zombie Jesus, or is it like he's just gone? Because if he's just gone,
he was just stolen,
I
like
mean,
grave robbers.
Listen, I'm not here to break down religion or anything like that. I'm just
Had
trying
anyone
to
considered maybe he was just stolen?
understand the story. And also maybe it's not like
Real?
Well, is
No,
it?
you can't say that.
I know, but like the Bible, everyone's like, this for sure happened, and this is somebody rewriting the story of what happened, right? Okay, so it's not supposed to be symbolic that we know of.
Well, yeah, it's supposed to be like a true telling of things that happened, right?
Just
But
like the movie 300.
Yeah, exactly like that. I don't know if anyone ever saw him after he came back.
Listen, so if
I'm also real unclear on like who Jesus and God are, because they're the same. But
it depends on who you believe in.
Is Big Daddy Baby Jesus? I don't know.
Lee and I were getting after this on the ride to Easter, which, by the way, when you go to someone's house for Easter, they generally celebrate it for the reasons that people, the reason for the season, like Jesus. Whereas at my house, sorry, don't want to offend anybody. Just listen. We're being honest, right? Safe space. At my house, it's like, the Easter Bunny came. And they're like, what's with the Easter Bunny? I'm like, I don't know, but you get candy. Don't ask too many fucking questions. Keep your mouth shut and collect your candy, And then my kids are like, what's up with Jesus? And I'm like, that's a good question. And so that's where all these questions came from. I'm like, no, I don't know. Did we all see zombie Jesus, or was he fine?
I feel like, was he fine?
Like, was it a miracle, or was it like we're all just like, wow, he couldn't have escaped because we were all watching this tomb nonstop? Because now I just feel like somebody's lying.
Yeah.
And then what's the benefit of stealing Jesus's body?
I don't know. I don't know. But did you hear the Pope died?
I did. On fucking Easter Monday. We're going down, bitches.
Easter Monday itself.
That's got to be sacred.
I mean, it's got to be something. It's got to mean something.
That's the day after everybody found out Jesus rose, but didn't. We don't know. We don't know how he rose. Sorry if this is so offensive.
I mean, I'm sorry for all of it, too. But,
we have real questions.
God damn!
Dude, actually, okay, so we'll just morph it into goddams, because this should have been my goddamn. But speaking of Easter, I almost had to breach that subject with my kids because they found their fucking Easter basket. How did they find it? Oh, it was just in the back of Lee's truck.
Oh,
and Lee's like, hey, kids, get in. And they're like, what the fuck is this awesome basket of goodies here that usually the Easter Bunny brings? What's it doing here the Friday before Easter?
Oh, no.
I know.
Oh, no.
I know. I was like, fuck, what do I say?
I must have dropped him off early.
Wow, and Dad's truck. What a great place.
He's got a lot of places to go. He knew Dad would see him.
I don't know. I think they're doing the thing where they just don't say anything and we all just keep pretending, because Lee brought them in and he was like, these are from us. And I'm like, from us? What's the Easter Bunny bringing? It's Easter. I'm not going crazy. It's not like Christmas. There's not 2 baskets.
No.
There's one.
Yeah.
You get one basket and some eggs.
Sir.
And half of those are hard-boiled eggs that we boiled, and colored. And then there's some eggs with a couple Krabby Patties on them. This is Easter, okay?
Yeah, that's
the
it.
Easter Bunny only brought you Krabby Patties. Oh my God, and I was panicking, but it turned out fine. I just put them out, and the kids never asked. They weren't like, we saw this in the back of the truck.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So I think I avoided it one more year. But I hate that we lie. I know I say this every holiday, but it stresses me out.
I know. It stresses me out, too, because I almost told my kid. Like,
know.
in the, hey, man, what are you talking about?
Once the younger ones are a little older, I feel like
Yeah.
we'll feel more confident.
Yeah, but then the older ones will be past the,
I know.
like,
They're going to be like,
of-
we've known.
Yeah, we are well aware.
Ugh.
I don't know.
What have they done to us?
Well, you want to know my goddamn?
Yep.
It also has to do with Easter, and it is that I went to this big Easter celebration thing. It was at my brother's girlfriend's family's place out in Blythe, California, which
Yes.
is the middle of the fucking desert by Glamis. And
Sounds great.
the drive was so pretty.
I
You
love
drive
it.
like literally through Glamis and all the dunes. And
I
it's
need
so
a
pretty.
desert trip.
Girl, I'm already looking at houses because I was like, if one opened up on this street, like I need to live in a place where
I
I can
know.
use a golf cart regularly.
I know.
Holy shit, it is so fun.
You need to move into my goddamn neighborhood.
I know. Well, your
be the
neighborhood's too expensive, and my neighborhood is too steep for a golf cart.
Yeah, we would die.
Yeah, Brandon was like, I mean, your dad just moved in. We should get a golf cart, and I was like,
Like, get a zip line.
can we get one with like a Rhino, like real good brakes? I don't know. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, that'd be a good idea.
It can't just be
Frozen.
a golf cart. But during this whole celebration, my brother's girlfriend proposed to him.
Did he say yes?
He said yes.
Was he surprised?
He was so surprised. Yeah.
What did he do?
Well, first they gathered everybody for like a big picture or whatever, like a family picture. It all said Happy Easter, blah, blah, blah. And she was kind of in charge of a lot of things. So she was like running
Yeah,
back
she's
and
running the
forth.
show. She's like, I got a proposal to make.
Yeah, basically. And she's also, getting in the picture, blah, blah, blah. Here's all the pictures. Everybody took pictures. And then she's like, uh-oh, one more thing, one more camera or whatever. Like, we got to get one more. And so she was up there and she called my brother up. And his birthday was like earlier last week. And so he's thinking it's like, and it's also his birthday. Isn't that nice?
Right.
And then she gave him a golden egg. And then he opened that. And inside there was a Pokeball. And then inside that was a ring. It was a ring box.
God,
and it engraved in the ring, it said, I choose you.
Was it I choose you?
No, it was like Pikachu, I choose you, not a
okay,
train.
Okay. I was thinking Simpsons.
Yeah. And then it was really cute. They were fucking adorable. And
Oh my God, how
little
sweet.
little tears came out. But I'm so
Yay,
happy for them.
congratulations.
Yeah. I'm so happy for them.
You're going to be an uncle.
I'm gonna be an
aunt.
uncle. So now I have a sister-in-law. I have two sisters-in-laws on that side. Well, I also have my husband's sister. But
Is it? So like my
your
brother's
wife's
family
siblings,
is technically
be-
my brother-in-law.
I think.
Oh God, we don't live life like that.
I don't think it counts or matters in any way, but we're calling it.
It tracks.
Yeah, whatever.
It matches.
Yeah.
I just didn't know that.
I mean, I don't either, but I'm so excited
That
for
is
them.
so exciting.
Yeah.
You want to hear my goddamn?
Yeah.
It was the Easter Monday
Uh-huh.
morning of, so just yesterday, since this is Easter Tuesday.
Yeah.
Do we just call everything Easter after Easter
Apparently.
for like a solid week? Anyway, so Easter Monday, it's the first week back where the kids are going to go to school, right? Like it was just spring break. So I quit my job and I
Yep.
had 2 weeks of
Chaos.
Oh my God. Kids were sick. Everybody was ill, whatever, blah. And then spring break happened. So the kids were still home. So I haven't had a chance to regulate since
Yeah.
quitting my job. Like, oh, you have so much time? No. No.
You thought.
Oh, your house is clean? No.
Right.
Oh my God, I've been in the fucking vomit trenches. I've been wiping shit from assholes. There's snot and noses. There's
no.
fevers, all kinds of shit, right?
Oh,
And then spring
no.
break happened. We had the best spring break. We were super busy the whole time, whatever. Second half of spring break was like, Jesus Christ, I'm going to die. We're so tired. Get through Easter. Monday, 2 o'clock in the morning. My youngest one comes crawling into my bed, right?
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh, he just wants to go to sleep. And you can come in my bed at night. You can fuck around. Just don't find out, right? Like, just
Yeah.
lay down and don't breathe, and we're fine. Don't
Yeah.
wake me up too much, and we're okay. So he
Yeah.
crawls in bed, and he goes, I don't feel good. I'm like, whatever, dude, lay down. And he goes, I feel like I'm going to puke. And then he starts puking
In your bed?
in my bed, all over Lee. Poor Lee.
Sucker.
And he shoots up. I'm still kind of asleep. Like, can he handle this? Can he still do this?
How awake do I have to be? Girl, there is vomit in your bed. How
How
do you
much-
not pop up?
How much vomit? Well, I am fucking dead. I am tired, okay?
Yeah, I
And
feel
so-
ya.
I realize there's another round. I hear another round coming. So I shoot up, and now the lights are on and everything.
It's like a fucking cat.
This kid is vomiting everywhere. Like
Sprinkler.
a fucking sprinkler.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
And I'm just containing it, trying to contain it to the comforter, like the top blanket. Like, we'll change everything, whatever.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
like, I just, please
But, like, get the
contain
chunks
it.
in here. Yeah.
It's all over him. It got on my leg. It was everywhere. What a rude way to be awoken, right?
Honestly.
And I'm cleaning it up, and all I'm thinking is, God damn it, it's the first day back from spring break. I just want them to go to school. And now this motherfucker just vomited. Like,
No
he's
shit.
for sure not going to school tomorrow.
I didn't see him in there.
I know, because in the morning we woke up, and I was like, I was panicking, and in the middle of the night, I was like, you know what? Don't worry about this now. We'll deal with it in the morning.
Yeah,
and so I
don't
fall
our
asleep.
problems.
I wake up. Exactly. That's tomorrow's Stacey's problem. I wake up, and I'm like, we're just going to act like nothing happened. And he was like, I don't feel good. And I'm like, yeah, but we got to go to school,
Yeah,
because he
yeah.
already doesn't want to go to school because it's the first day back from spring break.
And he just had this whole break, and last time he got
Yeah.
sick, he got used to staying home.
Right,
Ah.
exactly. And it was already going to be trouble getting him to go to school because we've
Yeah.
been having trouble getting him to go, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, fuck, right? But I made that motherfucker go.
Yeah.
I made him go to school. Sorry, motherfucker, I love you.
Yeah, honestly.
I made him
But
go
you're
to school.
welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Whatever
and,
job you have now.
And I was so anxious the whole time. I couldn't fucking relax.
Oh,
at
no.
home, my first day,
Yeah.
And then I did get a call, but he made it to like 1:30 or some shit.
Oh.
But anyway, so this is officially day one of like
No kids.
kids at school and everything. And I had therapy. We have to record because we're a fucking day late. Like this
Yeah.
has been, I just wanted to share because I feel like it's like a little glimpse of my life. It's like, it's so busy all the goddamn time. And I'm like a day behind on everything, but I'm slowly getting caught up.
We're going to get caught up. It's going to be fine.
Eventually. But Jesus Christ, what is going on?
Jesus Christ. No kidding. Oh my God. Maybe he caught whatever Jesus had.
Well, he has returned. So.
He is returned to school, which is good.
I know, he went. And then this morning he was fine. So,
That's good. Yeah.
listen.
My kids had Monday off as well. So we got one more day of like a little relaxation. Of course, that was when we were coming back from the desert and everything.
Yeah.
But
so
they
it's not very
existed.
relaxing.
No, not at all. But they existed on like candy and hot dogs the whole time
Yeah.
there.
Well, that's what I was thinking too, is like, that's
Thank
what
God for the hot dogs.
they had all day Easter. Like we went
Yeah.
over to their auntie's house and they had little snacks and candies for them too on top of the Easter bunny, hooked it up over at the house. So
Mhm.
that's what I was thinking when he vomited at night. It was
You're
like,
like, it's just jelly beans.
I think maybe it was anxiety about going to school. Whatever it was,
Aw.
he's fine.
Baby.
I know. But
Good. Well, I'm glad he's feeling better.
I literally am at the point where I'm just yelling at the universe all the time. Like as it's happening, I'm like, are you serious?
Sometimes it needs to be told.
I know. Jeez. It's feral out here.
Oh, man.
But it's getting better.
Yeah, it is.
So I'm excited.
Hell yeah.
And now I'm going to tell you about murder.
Tell me about murder.
Okay. So this week's episode, again, is brought to you by Dylan, who
Thanks,
is
Dill.
single-handedly holding this podcast together at this time.
Honestly.
So everybody thank him again. Some more. I'm going to tell you about Craig Sorger.
Okay.
You didn't do this one, right?
Nope, I don't think so.
It's not labeled. It doesn't have a number or anything, so I don't think we have.
I
Okay.
don't think so.
Also, it could be Sorger.
Mm-hmm.
Sorger.
Mm-hmm. Could be.
Okay. Anyway, I was banking on you to correct me.
I would say Sorger, like a soft G. Is that
Yeah.
a soft G?
Sorger. Okay, so Craig Sorger.
Mhm.
He was born February 10th, 1990.
Oh,
so that
okay.
makes him an Aquarius.
Well, what a guy.
The age of Aquarius.
Is the age of Aquarius.
Okay, and that means he was creative, smart, humanitarian, innovative. Maybe he still is. We don't know because we're reading this together for the first time. I should have let you know that also.
Hell yeah.
I haven't read this.
He's a humanitarian.
He's a humanitarian and very innovative.
I like to think I'm a humanitarian.
You
I don't even know what that means.
you don't
I just
help.
am human.
You don't help in scenarios that require help for humans.
I didn't say I was an emergency fucking contact.
I feel like humanitarian is like doing well for others, like helping others. Like
humanitarian.
Oh,
This is just being
Oh,
really good at
you're
being a human.
you have just
Check this shit out. I've lived for 37 years. Humanitarian.
fair enough. Honestly, I think we should redefine it. You're right. You are humanitarian. I'm sorry I doubted you. I take it all back. So, you and Craig have a lot in common.
All right.
How
fair.
innovative as you are. You sure you're not an Aquarius?
I'm only 3 years older than him. So,
Wow.
taught him everything he knows.
Look at you and your math.
It's pretty easy.
Wow. Is it?
Well, yes, that one is. 1990? Got it.
Yeah, crushed it. So Craig had a younger brother named Keith.
Mm-hmm.
Craig was diagnosed with autism and ADHD at the age of 2.
Mm-hmm. Damn it, 2?
I know. I was just thinking that must have been pretty severe if you know it at 2, right?
Yeah, if you're going to get diagnosed, then there's been something going on.
He was enrolled in a special education school, and he did very well in school.
Mm-hmm.
His physical coordination wasn't his strong suit. Sorry for laughing.
Relatable. I don't know.
Yeah, I know, right? Same.
I didn't know we were being fucking tested on that.
So he wasn't very good at sports, obviously.
Okay, so not a great humanitarian.
Well, depending on what type of humanitarian you're after. An artsy one or a sportsy one.
All right, fair. I'm looking for one who has mastered their body, which apparently means to me body skills, sports.
Oh my God. Okay, so he was also awkward in social settings, but his brother Keith was always there to support him and make him feel welcome. So it sounds like Keith was kind of his shepherd in life.
Yeah.
Craig's father, Chuck, he was a mechanic.
Oh, okay. Chuck, Craig, and Keith, huh?
I know.
Are they all with C's?
No, Keith went with a K. What a missed opportunity.
Honestly.
Right? Okay, so.
Could you imagine Keith with a C, though? It'd be like Ceeth.
Oh, God, that'd be weird. Seeth. I don't think that's how the English language works.
It's a hard C.
Stop it. You shut the fuck up right now.
I'll stop. I'm sorry. I missed you.
I missed you so much. Okay, so Craig's father, Chuck, he's a mechanic. Craig becomes fascinated by tools and cars, and he often helps his dad at work.
Mm-hmm.
He was known to fix electronics around the house and complete video games that other kids his age struggled with. So he might not have been very good at his hand-eye coordination, but he fucking understood brain shit.
Okay, yeah.
His parents would always go to him if they needed any of their shit fixed, like any of their electronics fixed, like TV, VCR, computer, any of that stuff. They'd be like, send it to Craig. He's got it. So he had that kind of autism, that flavor.
Okay, yeah, I like it.
Craig and his family lived in Everett, Washington.
Mm-hmm.
And Everett is ranked as one of the worst cities to live in Washington. Fun fact.
Sorry if you're from Everett.
As it has a 56% higher crime rate than the national average.
56% higher?
That's what Dylan says.
That's pretty high.
Yeah, that's pretty high. That's more than half.
Yeah. Is it a large town?
Can't imagine it is.
You know?
Don't know, though. Dylan didn't let us know the size of the town.
I got questions.
We're not that kind of podcast.
No, we're not here for the facts.
Okay, so I guess people don't walk around at night, like, because it's such a seedy town, and shop owners are always on edge and shit.
Okay.
Stuff like that, okay?
Yeah.
So it's about 30 miles north of Seattle.
In Washington?
Yeah, I know, but if you think 30 miles, let's go east instead of north of San Diego. That's like fucking El Cajon. It's like the same thing, right? Like, there's probably some more crime rate there.
Sure, yeah, there's probably more crime rate, but like...
Like, I don't want to walk around late at night in El Cajon by myself.
But I still would.
I still would, too, but we grew up here.
Yeah. That's what I'm just trying to picture, like, a worse town.
How many times have we almost died and didn't even know it till after?
Too many to count. But
Every weekend. Every weekend. You know, in hindsight.
But I mean, like, the small town with a lot of crime, I'm assuming, is, like, drug-related or whatever.
Probably, yeah.
I feel like store owners, I don't know. I guess it depends what kind of crime it is.
Sure.
Like, just mind your business. You'll be fine.
Don't, like, a lot of murderers come from, like, fucking Washington, too? Maybe I just think that because of the happy face killer.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
It's
anyway.
all rainy and sad. Maybe they get all depressed.
They're
and
like, I need
murdering.
to stab somebody right now.
You know what would make me feel better? Taking someone else's life.
Homicidal rage. That's what I was thinking.
Me too.
Okay, so this small town 30 miles north of Seattle.
A lot of crime.
Craig didn't do well with change,
Mm-hmm.
and particularly with food and clothing.
Relatable.
He
Got it.
really liked his routine. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Where the fuck are my Cheez-Its? Get
Yeah.
out of here with this bullshit. Your fucking nips. Cheese nips.
It's not the same. They
Not the
say it's
same.
the same. It is not
It
the
isn't.
same.
So when Craig was 11, the family moved from Everett to Ephrata. But I guess they moved because he was getting bullied too much at school. And Ephrata is nearly 200 miles east. So it's quite the change.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
It's still in Washington, though.
Yeah.
Craig became increasingly less social after the move, and he
Aw.
only wanted to hang out with his parents or his brother/best friend, Keith.
Yeah.
Craig was playing at home on February 15th, 2003, which was 5 days after turning 13,
Mm-hmm.
when two boys knocked on his front door. Their names were Jake Eakin and Evan Savoie, and the two boys were greeted by Craig's mother, Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
She'd never met the boys before and didn't know who they were. Keith, Craig's brother, knew who they were, and he would always see them playing outside of the home and at the park and stuff, so they're from, like, the neighborhood or some shit.
Okay.
So the two boys, Jake and Evan, they were best friends, and they were often confused for brothers, even though they were actually cousins.
Okay.
They were pretty inseparable, and Evan was the class clown, very outgoing and popular. Jake was shy and followed Evan like a little puppy dog. They both had bowl cuts. Sick. So they were the
90s.
popular kids, is what he's telling you right now.
Yeah,
They both
totally.
had bowl cuts and attended the same school that Craig did.
Okay.
Evan called Jake his stepfriend, believing that he was above Jake in his status. What the fuck, Jake? Why are we hanging out with Evan?
Yeah.
Fuck that shit. Stepfriend, get out of here.
Stepfriend.
Ew.
I hate that.
I don't
Okay.
like that, Evan.
Yeah.
But he sounded like the popular kid, right?
Yeah, but like, okay.
Yeah.
It's not like I'll be your friend.
Okay.
You're only popular because you have me as a friend.
Right? And that fucking sick-ass bowl cut. I bet they had one earring.
Ah, that is pretty sick. You think it was a middle part? Had to be.
Obviously. What else would it be?
It was like JTT and,
Uh-huh.
yeah, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Do I know? Do I know? Do you know JTT turned out to be, like, really intelligent and is just, like, living his best life?
Good for him. Didn't he marry like a fucking, no, that was someone else.
Scientist or some shit?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, so sounds like Evan's kind of being a
scientist.
what?
I was going to say rocket scientist. Maybe it is him then.
Maybe it is. I don't know. So Evan's being a real dick back there.
Yeah.
Jake and Evan were both 12, so they're just a few months younger than Craig was.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason they knocked on the door was to ask if Craig could play.
Okay.
And Lisa was a little weary since she didn't know them and Craig had never spoken of them, right? So she's like, what do you want with my boy?
Yeah.
It's like Waterboy, the mom and Waterboy. She also didn't like that it was a little stormy outside and Craig had just caught
Taking
a cold.
bath? Oh.
His hair was wet. She's like, no, 13
Can't go
year olds can't
outside.
go outside. No, he had just, I guess he was catching a cold and it was like stormy outside. And she's like, I don't really know about this. But when she saw the excitement and the large grin on Craig's face, I mean, he's about to make fucking friends, right?
Yeah.
She was like, okay, you can go play with the boys.
Yeah.
This was the first time ever that anyone had ever come over to ask to play with Craig, ever in his whole life,
Aw.
right? Craig was afraid of the dark, and Lisa said it was getting dark soon, so she instructed the boys to be back within an hour, and she went to run some errands.
Okay.
So the boys went to Oasis Park, which is an RV park that's a few blocks away.
Okay.
Dude, did you ever play in RV parks when you were little?
No.
This is fucking some trailer park shit, but actually, I think it's just like traveling shit. My parents would always take us on road trips, and we never stayed in the RV parks, but like my family would, my grandpa or whatever, so we'd go visit them. So then I played in a lot of RV parks. Oh my God, it's so fun.
I bet.
They're
I mean-
always on like a campground.
Yeah,
or
I was going to
something,
say,
you
it's
know?
like a campground, so they usually have like a playground or water
a
source
fucking
or
creek.
something.
Exactly. So fun. So, I mean, that tracks. I'd play at an RV park if it were close by.
Yeah.
Just sounds weird when you say it out loud.
I mean, it's not a trailer park.
Well, I mean, trailer
an
park's
RV park.
almost like an RV park.
It's almost, but it is different, you know?
Right. When it became dark and Craig hadn't returned home, Lisa began to panic.
Uh-oh.
Rightfully so. She
Yeah.
knew, because he was afraid of the dark, even if he wanted to remain playing, that the oncoming darkness would
Be enough to like
freak him out.
Yeah.
Like he,
bring him home.
yeah. Like, and that would be enough to bring him home. Exactly. Like, this is scary enough that he should be home already.
Yeah.
Lisa rushed over to Oasis Park, but she didn't find them.
Mm.
So she went over to Evan's house to find Evan and Jake playing video games.
What the
Bum,
fuck, bro?
Where the fuck's Craig?
Yeah.
She asked them where Craig was, and they said that they parted ways with Craig after about an hour at the park, like she had instructed, like only hang out for an hour.
Uh-huh.
And they've been at Evan's house ever since. So they don't know where Craig is, like we left him at the park.
Yeah.
At this point, it had been about 3 hours since Lisa last saw Craig. And so she's like, I'm calling 911.
Yeah.
This isn't right.
Yeah.
She explained to them that Craig had autism, and the police instantly started to search with Lisa and Evan and Evan's parents.
Okay.
So everybody gets together to go look for Craig.
Yeah.
Chuck, Craig's father, was out of town, so he didn't help. They focused the search on particularly dark trails of Oasis Park, so they were like paying attention to the trail, like he could be hiding somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Areas that scared him in the past, which it's like, why would you go to those areas if you were scared of them? But I guess that'd be a good place, like if he were hiding. I don't know.
Like maybe he got scared and then couldn't
Move.
go past.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
kind of a frozen in fear.
Right. Okay, big jump here, Dill. So Craig was eventually found but he was dead, face down.
Oh, God.
Covered
Jesus.
with blood
What the fuck?
off one of the dark trails in Oasis Park. He died in one of the dark trails that he was afraid of?
Why?
That's the saddest story I ever heard. Your face. Why?
Why'd they do that?
I don't know. We're learning together. He was still warm.
Oh, my God.
Oh my God. He was only dead for about an hour or two. That is so fucking sad. What did these fucking people do? The first time she let her little boy out to play, he was 13.
Oh my God.
What the fuck, Evan? I feel like it was Evan.
I feel like it was Evan for sure.
Evan's parents. Oh my God. Could you imagine?
No. I would be livid if my kid fucking killed someone. So pissed.
Yeah, I feel like that's a fair. I don't even know. I don't even
God.
know. So, hysterically crying, Lisa instantly blamed Evan, just like us.
Yeah, obviously.
Pointing in his face and stating, it was him, he did this. So police brought Evan and Jake to the station for questioning. They're 12.
They
That's
went with him to go
insane.
fucking look for his body?
I guess. And they were like, don't look down that trail.
Yeah.
How'd
He's
they
probably
find
not
him?
down there.
Oh my God. I'll look. You don't need to go.
Yeah. What the fuck?
I don't know. So the police bring them in for questioning. The original story of them parting ways with Craig at the park changes, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Evan said that they played football and tackled tag.
Mm-hmm.
And then Craig began climbing a tree.
Mm-hmm.
Evan says that Craig fell from the tree and he hit his head. Uh-oh. And they didn't know what to do, so him and Jake went home. They were just like, bye, Craig.
Well, that's not it.
No.
Out of all the options in the
That's
world.
probably like one of the worst ones. Next to murdering him.
Next to murdering him.
That's probably worse.
would be just to walk away after they got hurt and aren't moving.
Right?
What the fuck?
I don't know. Who does that? Nobody?
does
Because it's a
that?
lie. It's got to be a lie.
Also, you could just be like, help! And someone would be like, is that a kid down there?
Yeah. Unless he's knocked out or something, you know?
No, I mean like the friends.
Oh, the friends. Yeah. For
Could've-
sure. Right?
We
Yeah.
didn't know what to do.
You had
So
options.
we did nothing.
In an RV park, there are plenty of humans around.
Plenty of humans.
Evan's mom noticed that during the questioning, he was wearing different shoes than the one he wore to the park. Uh-oh, Evan's mom.
Uh-oh, Evan's mom. Is she going
Uh-oh.
to say something?
Uh-oh.
You say something?
The following day, when doing laundry, she noticed that the shoes Evan was wearing in the park were hidden behind the laundry basket. Bum, bum, bum. They were
That's just
wet.
like a fucking kid.
I know.
I'm going to hide these in a place that I never look.
Yeah.
Therefore,
Nobody
one ever
knows.
looks. Mom's going
Exactly.
to move the laundry basket, you dimwit.
Yeah, when she's doing fucking laundry.
Yeah.
So she finds them. They were wet and they had been recently cleaned.
Mm-hmm.
His stepfather noticed that he was also missing a new sweatshirt that they had just bought him.
Uh-oh.
Evan's parents sat him down and they asked him what actually happened.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So they're like, I know you're fucking lying.
Yeah. Tell me.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, I would do the same thing. I would give my kid the same opportunity.
I
Come
would
clean
too.
to me before I bring you to the police station.
I would too.
So that we can, like,
Make sure you're
plan
fucking-
something.
Yeah, exactly. Do this right.
Yeah.
Let's go get a fucking lawyer.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so Evan tells them, crying, that when Craig fell from the tree, he went to check for a pulse and listened for a heartbeat. 12-year-olds know how to do this.
Totally. I mean,
Okay.
I probably did it at 12. It was a different time.
Let's see, 12. What were we doing at 12?
Well,
That
this was in...
San Diego. That's 2 years past 10. So we're in middle school,
Yeah.
like
Seventh
7th or
grade.
8th grade.
Yeah, 7th grade.
I don't think I knew. Maybe I kind of knew the idea of it, but I probably would just like be like, yeah, totally, I can feel it and not actually feel it.
I think you had to do it in, like, PE and stuff.
Maybe, yeah.
You had to, like,
Okay.
count your fucking...
You know, you might be right. But I feel like that still might be like, I could do a heartbeat for sure.
I remember science class in 7th grade.
Yeah,
we were, like,
you're right.
dissecting
You're
shit. You
right.
knew what a
You're
heartbeat
right.
was. You
Yeah.
knew that it took, like,
Yeah.
all the things.
Yeah. It's not like he was doing CPR. He was
Right.
just checking for a heartbeat.
Right.
Okay, that tracks.
And
Okay.
this was in, what, 2003?
something, yeah.
Something like that. So it wasn't like they were on phones and video games all the time. They were doing, like, Boy Scout shit. Or outside, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
More
yeah,
like
yeah.
real world stuff.
True dat. You're right. So anyway, so he says he listened for a heartbeat, whatever, and in doing so, he got covered in blood.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And so he washed his shoes in a nearby pond, and then he buried his sweatshirt in the water.
Okay.
Interesting.
You know, if you didn't do anything wrong,
You don't need to do that. You could just
you
be
could
like,
just be like, help.
oh no,
He fell,
This
and
is
now
his
I have
blood all over me. from
gotten
when he-
s-
What kind of fall was that? That there's that much blood it got on your sweater and your shoes.
I'm going to guess it wasn't a fall.
I'm gonna guess you right.
He was
So-
like, I was just trying to help.
right.
All
He's
my
like,
stuff got dirty.
I just hid that shit in the water. no big deal. And then he also said he led the police away from Craig's body during the search because he was afraid he was going to get in trouble. So, like, they were going to find him, and he kind of guided him away.
What a fucking punk.
What a little punk. So, Evan's mother calls the police and told them what he had told her.
Yeah.
They ask for them to come down to the station and bring the shoes.
Yeah.
Before they questioned Evan, they went to Jake's house to question him. Jake said that they all three climbed a tree and Craig fell down and hit his head. Evan had said only Craig climbed the tree, right? So now Jake is like, all of us climbed it.
Yeah, like
so,
we were doing it together. It's
right.
not weird.
Police found Evan's sweatshirt in the pond. It was a pond? It wasn't even a lake, or a lake would be bad too. Like a river, something for it to go away.
Something for it to, well, he buried it there.
I know, that's
probably just put it under
weird.
a fucking rock. I'm going to leave this evidence here for everyone to get later.
Oh my God. Fucking 12-year-olds.
Honestly.
Okay, so they find a sweatshirt in the pond, and they conduct an autopsy on Craig. There was no evidence that he had fallen from a tree. Craig had been severely beaten all over, specifically his neck and head.
Oh my God, why?
He had 39 stab wounds
Holy
to his
shit.
face and neck and chest, and at least 20 blunt force injuries.
What the fuck?
The tip of the knife used to stab Craig was still buried in his skull. Okay, he did not fall from a tree, Evan.
Yeah, Evan.
39 fucking stab wounds. They don't know Craig. Like, these boys. If this is Evan and Jake, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
We're
Well, I
learning
mean, they
together.
could have, like, seen him at school or something, but, like, there's no reason.
Like, what would be the benefit for murder? Like, what happened? How did that get there?
It's just a fucking psychopath.
Well, you know, and I always think about this shit, like when you and I talk about when we were little and the weird shit we did, like, kids are mean,
Yeah.
but, like, I wouldn't want somebody to die.
No.
My God, but I
Yeah.
don't know if I would have understood that.
But I wouldn't stab someone.
No, I wouldn't.
Because I've, especially by 12, I had been not stabbed, but, like, you know, poked by a pencil. You know that shit
a javelin,
hurts.
yeah.
Yeah. You know stuff hurts, so
A
you're
couple
not going
stitches.
to do it to someone else, especially a knife. You know
Oh, God, no. That'll take your
that's
life
bad.
at 12.
Yeah.
For sure. That's insane. Okay. So there was no knife that was found at the scene of the crime. Okay.
Are you sure it wasn't under the fucking sweatshirt?
In the pond.
In the pond?
Might be. On February 18th, 2003, Jake and Evan were arrested and each were placed on a $1 million bail
Okay.
at 12 years old.
Wow.
Jesus. Both boys still stuck to the story of them fleeing after Craig fell from the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Evan's family said it had to have been someone else doing the stabbing and beating of Craig after Evan and Jake ran away.
Like, so someone else came along and saw this boy had fallen from the tree, and they were like, well,
I'm going to move the body and stab it.
I'm going to be
39
merciful
times.
and put him
Yeah.
out of his misery by stabbing him 30 some odd times in the face, head, and neck.
Right, I guess so. And Evan just happened to have blood all over him before that stabbing.
Seems logical.
Even though there's no evidence of him falling from a tree.
Yeah.
So they're like, yeah, for sure. But I mean, they're trying to fight for their 12-year-old's freedom. So I guess they're like, yeah, you can't prove he did it. You know, based off of their story, it could have been anybody else. So that's what they're saying, okay?
Whew, okay.
But you can, because we got shoes and you turned them in. I guess that would be his blood. We're not denying it's his blood.
I mean,
don't know about this
it
story.
is circumstantial, but at the same time, the circumstances are saying that your kid fucking stabbed somebody.
Yeah.
Or was a party to.
Like, he died from multiple stab wounds that are very bloody, and your kid was covered in blood.
Feels like Exhibit A.
I feel like that is the definition of circumstantial evidence.
But, like, pretty solid circumstantial evidence.
100%.
Like, yeah, it's a little circumstantial.
Like, you just walked inside and it's raining outside and you're covered in water. I'm going to assume you were just outside in the rain.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's my circumstantial evidence.
There's a chance that you weren't.
Based on these circumstances.
That you hosed
could
off before you came inside.
Yeah. But I'm going to guess
Yeah.
you just got caught in the rain.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess you just stabbed him 39 fucking times.
The most logical explanation.
Jesus Christ. Oh
Wow.
my God. Okay. Jake and Evan were evaluated by several psychologists, and they were both deemed to not have any outstanding behavioral issues. And so, you know.
They're
whatever.
fine.
Exactly.
Normal people.
The psychologists hired by the prosecution recommended that they be tried as juveniles.
Mm-hmm. Well, they were 12.
Fucking right. Recommending a juvie sentence where they'd get released at 21.
Mm-hmm.
One psychologist said that housing them with adult prisoners would make them more dangerous.
That's probably fair.
Yeah. Craig's blood was found on Jake's jacket as well as Evan's undershirt, which is what he was wearing under his sweater that he threw in the pond. So even though he threw his bloody sweater in the pond, his undershirt had blood on it too.
Yeah. Do you think it seeped through? Like a lot of blood?
It's got 39 fucking stab wounds, I'm sure.
Yeah. Ugh.
This is really random, but I've never considered these people doing the murder and getting literal blood on your hands. How uncomfortable. Like my own blood, just the feel of it, like slippy and sticky and gross. And I can't, and the smell, and there's not even a lot of it. And
you've heard, like if you stab someone, that it gets slippery and stuff, and that the person will then likely stab themselves. So it's not like a clean situation.
No.
I can't even eat fucking ribs.
No,
you know?
I know, right?
Like
with a vein still in it that's bloody, and you're like, get that out of here.
I just mean with the mess on my hands.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That's horrific. I could never.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just be so.
I can't either. I mean, I don't mind the dirty, but like what it is and
what
the feeling of it. Ugh.
Yeah.
I think that's because we're human, you know? Like,
Maybe.
we have all the right marbles in that sense.
I was going to say, I mean, so are they.
We're better humanitarians than them.
You're goddamn right we are.
You're goddamn right. Okay. They all had blood, right, on their shit. Since both boys had clothes with Craig's blood on them, the judge decided to try both Evan and Jake as adults.
Goddamn.
They were the youngest people to be tried as adults in Washington since 1931.
Wow.
They were kept in juvie till the state could allow the trial to happen. So now, in 2005... He said Jake changes his dog-gam story again.
Daggum story?
That's not how you spell gum.
Oh.
Daggam story. Like damn? Just with a G?
Story.
Okay. Anyway, so now it's 2005, and Jake changes his story again.
Uh-oh.
He said that when the three boys were playing at the park, he left to go get some sodas. He was like, we're all thirsty. Mm-hmm. We just need a little drink.
Mm-hmm. So just one of them went?
So Jake went, and when he got back, he said that Evan was brutally attacking Craig. Jake says that Evan then threw his sweatshirt and another item in the pond. Since the police already had the sweatshirt from before, investigators went back to the pond to discover the murder weapon, which was a knife with a broken tip. So they go back and they find it.
Yeah. Whose house did it come from?
We're going to find out, I hope.
Knife.
Since it had been in the water for 2 years, it's 2005.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it had been in the water for 2 years. There's no fingerprints that could be obtained. However, the broken tip found in Craig's skull perfectly matched the broken part of the knife that they found. So they know that that's the murder weapon. This prompted investigators to lean on Jake to like get the answer on what the fuck actually happened to see if he'd spill anything else. Mm-hmm. So Jake changes the story again and says that him and Evan were in Oasis Park when Evan showed him a knife and said that they should kill Craig and some other dude.
Okay. And he was like, I'm going to go home instead.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
Have you ever touched blood?
No, thank you.
Evan said that he had discovered the term, quote, killing spree and wanted to become a mass murderer, as 12-year-olds do.
Yeah.
Jake was like, all right, sick, dude, totally. And then they went to Craig's house.
Oh, my God.
Knocked on the door and got Craig, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this was the whole, like, Evan was just
plan.
like, we're going to fucking kill someone. And Jake was like, bet, let's go. And then they knock on Craig's door.
Oh, my God.
So as soon as they get to the park, that was the whole plan of hanging out with Craig, according to Jake.
That's so fucked up.
It's super fucked up, Evan. So as soon as they get to the park, Evan asked Craig to feel the ground to see if it was wet. What a weird question.
Okay.
Can't do that shit myself.
Well, I'm assuming it's to get him to, like, bend down in front of him.
Right. So he told Craig to count to 10 while checking the ground. This is fucking shady. And while
This is some bullshit that kids would do, too. No, you have to walk around the tree on the left side.
This is how we booby-trapped everybody.
That's
Aaron.
what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take 5 steps. Fuck, it didn't go off.
Yeah, you didn't step right. Go back. Go back.
Oh,
And your dumb ass is like, what? Here?
Yeah,
Here?
literally.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do it.
Exactly.
You have to count for 10 seconds.
Oh, my God. So while Craig was counting, Evan dropped a fucking rock on Craig's neck.
Oh, my God.
Evan then pulled out his sick-ass knife, where he then started stabbing and kicking Craig.
Ugh.
Jake yelled at Evan to stop, so Evan threw Jake to the ground, too.
Oh.
Craig was screaming and asking Evan why. Oh,
I hate that.
Oh, my heart. Craig got up 3 separate times,
Oh
and
my
he
God.
managed to run away. Each time, he'd get drugged back down and stabbed even more by Evan.
Oh, my God.
He was trying to escape.
I thought Evan was like the fucking class clown.
Nah, Evan's not chill, man.
No.
Evan's fucking rude as shit.
Not chill.
Okay, so Evan is grabbing Craig and
Pulling
still
him back.
stabbing him.
Yeah.
Yep. Jake picked up a tree branch, which he claims was initially to hit Evan to get him to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Yet he and Evan decided to beat the shit out of Craig with the branch until it broke, and then Craig stopped moving. So this is Jake's side of the story. He's like, I got this branch so I could beat the shit out of Evan, but then somehow they both agreed that they would beat Craig with it.
Yeah, but then Evan looked at me.
Yeah, I don't know. Evan and Jake shook hands.
What the fuck?
Wait, I missed a spot. Sorry, I keep jumping around. What the fuck?
Like a job well done, GG chat?
I guess. Shit,
fuck?
we might be getting to that. Oh, no, that is the next sentence. Evan and Jake shook hands, and then Evan disposed of the sweatshirt and knife. Because Craig's not moving anymore, right? So they're like, killed him, shake your hands.
This.
Gets rid of the sweatshirt and knife, and then they go to Evan's and play video games, and Jake claims that he never saw a knife or anything. He's like, I don't know, Evan was just beating the shit out of him. I guess he had a knife. But then he said he saw the knife at the beginning. I don't know.
I mean, he said he saw him throw a sweater and something else into the water.
It's fucking weird. Okay, so during the trial of 2005 in April, Jake was offered a plea deal if he testified against Evan, and of course he agreed. Jake would get charged with second-degree murder by complicity instead of first-degree murder. So that's his deal.
Yeah. Well, he was just a stepfriend.
Zing, got him, right?
At that point, I'd be like, yeah, it was step everything. There's nothing blood here.
Nothing blood here. I barely know his name.
Yeah.
What is it, Evan?
Is
it Evan?
A forest friend?
I don't even think his name's really Evan.
I don't even know that kid. I just live here.
So Jake gives a full confession and was offered an 8-year sentence.
Wow.
The judge sentenced Jake to 14 years in prison, stating that by age 12, you know what it means to hurt somebody.
Wait, that was Jake? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's interesting that he was offered an 8-year sentence, but then the judge gave him 14.
Maybe the judge still has, like...
Some say.
Yeah.
Evan showed zero remorse during his trial, starting a year later in April of 2006. His defense team, experts in gaslighting, they said that Chuck, Craig's father, who was out of town when he was fucking murdered, was the one who murdered Craig.
What the fuck? I cannot.
What the fuck? That whole defense failed horribly.
Yeah.
So they then tried to get child services to turn on Lisa, Craig's mother. And
Jesus.
This resulted in Evan's parents and Craig's parents getting restraining orders against each other for their constant harassment of each other because they're fucking neighbors, okay?
Girl, you could not imagine the harassment I would put my neighbors through if their kid killed my kid and then tried to blame it on me.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
I will burn your house down.
100%. Like, you should leave the country.
Yeah.
Because at this point, I don't have much to lose.
You will never
I have
know
one
peace
other child and that's
living
it.
next to me.
Yeah, exactly. Evan's defense team then began blaming another boy from school. His name is Cody Cook. Cody, who was self-proclaimed as Craig's best friend, was walking home when he heard fighting in Oasis Park. He said he witnessed the entire murder and hid in the bushes to avoid being attacked. What? Cody's mother testified that Cody's behavior at the time shifted dramatically.
What the fuck?
This is part of what Evan's parents had stated in 2003, that someone else came in to kill Craig after Evan and Jake had left. So they're like, there was somebody else there, I guess. Craig's blood was also found on Cody's shirt.
What
the fuck? And Evan's defense team tried to blame Cody for everything. Cody, what you got blood on your shirt for? Why didn't we tell somebody? I got some questions.
Cody, you can't just do that.
I have so many questions. So Jake's testimony in 2005 was the final straw that got Evan convicted and proving Cody's innocence. The jury, I guess that's what did it. When Jake came forward, they were like, all right, Cody's out of here now. For sure it was Evan.
But he still has blood on his shirt.
It's fucking weird.
Sure.
But Cody's not on trial, I guess.
Okay.
So,
he was there.
the jury deliberated for 3 days and decided that Evan was guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced him to the maximum sentence of 26 years in prison.
Okay.
He was 15 at the time. Him and his family maintain his innocence, obviously. In 2011, Evan's sentence was overturned, claiming that his right to a public trial was violated. Interesting.
Okay.
His lawyers pushed for a retrial in 2014, so he was 23 at the time. Evan ends up pleading guilty to second-degree murder, and he was sentenced to 20 years in prison.
Okay.
Evan was released from prison in February of 2023, and he lives in Portland, Oregon.
What the fuck?
He's married to a woman who he met while he was incarcerated, and they have a daughter together. That's crazy.
Oh my God.
That's crazy. After Evan was sent to prison, Jake wrote a letter to Evan's mom. Part of it read, quote, I stabbed Craig Sorger.
Okay.
Orger.
Yeah.
I planned the murder and I switched the clothing with Evan at the crime scene. His bloody clothes are mine, and now a kid's going down for what I did.
Allegedly, Jake wrote this?
Allegedly, a letter to
Evan's mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Weird.
I don't believe it.
Jake spent most of his sentence in solitary confinement for fighting. Oh, goddamn. Jake does not go the right route, huh?
Well, listen, he had a bit of a rough upbringing.
Sounds like it. Sounds like being Evan's stepfriend is a tough life.
Yeah.
He would constantly fight other inmates and guards. In 2016, 3 months before Jake was set to be released, he was on a work release where he escaped the work facility in Washington and he hitchhiked to Idaho to take a bus to South Dakota.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
This guy's fucking getting there.
2 days later, U.S. federal marshals greeted him in South Dakota and he was sentenced to another 5 years in prison back in Washington. What the fuck, Jake?
Yeah.
Jake then started reading the Bible cover to cover. He was born again. He has risen.
Thank God. Easter episode!
He started a relationship with an old family friend that had been visiting him in prison for the past few years. Her name was Marissa.
Okay.
Marissa came out as a lesbian 10 years prior and was struggling with her identity. At the age of 20, Marissa said, quote, transgenderism seemed to be the answer to my questions, my dreams, and my deep longing within me to be whole and complete. Okay. Marissa began taking hormone replacement therapy in order to transition gender.
Okay.
Marissa became very depressed and turned to alcohol and detransitioned when discovering Jesus. What the fuck? Was Marissa born a female? I have questions.
I think Marissa was born a female.
And then was transitioning to male and then was like, wait, I found Jesus.
Untransitioned or attempted to.
Okay, so can you imagine fucking with your hormones like that? Not because of what it does to your body, but like the feelings inside.
Just being
every
pregnant,
month,
I would never want to fuck with my hormones again.
every month, I'm so mad.
Yeah.
For a solid week. And I know why, and it doesn't change.
No.
Like, it's just...
There's still no logic or reason behind it.
No, I can't imagine. Okay, so Marissa finds Jesus. Dylan wrote, fuck, I wish Marissa had actual support. Preach. I wish all these motherfuckers had actual support. In February of 2017, Jake was released from prison after only 6 months of the added 5 years, and he and Marissa got married.
Oh, good for them.
Nice. Jake then became even more of a shitbag by posting videos online of anti-abortionists and LGBTQIA+ fearing bigot. Oh, because he's a fearing bigot. Okay. So he started being a dick online.
Okay.
And so...
towards his
community.
Wife.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah. So he blames the community, the LGBTQIA plus community, for Marissa's feeling the need to transition.
Okay.
Interesting. He has said that anyone who has had an abortion should be found guilty of first-degree murder. Homie. You don't get a vote.
You sit this one out, because I feel like you also should be guilty of murder, but I digress.
We all have opinions.
Yeah.
I guess, just like we have assholes.
Right.
I guess, allegedly, he feels so strongly about this that, like, if anybody fucking aborts somebody, he thinks that they should spend life in prison or death penalty. Like, that's how he thinks it's equal to murder.
Okay, well, he's wrong, so.
Even though he just fucking skated by.
A whole murder? Like a literal murder
like
of a person?
Like, homie, you don't get a vote.
Of a person who had a whole ass life and family?
Oh, my God.
Sure, okay.
I hate it. Yeah. Don't even get me started. Anyway, okay, so.
Something about glass houses, you know?
Well, whatever. I wonder how Marissa felt. So Jake and Marissa have 2 daughters together.
Okay.
This is how Jake now spends his life. He posts videos online of him screaming at women on the street randomly, as well as him standing outside of various Planned Parenthood locations, what he calls, quote, abortion mills, with a megaphone preaching fear. Great, Jake. I'm so glad. Jake has publicly said multiple times that he would love to sit down with Craig's family and ask for their forgiveness. The Sorger family has never responded.
Thank God.
Yeah, it sounds like you turned out to be a dick, homie.
Do not engage with this fucking guy.
No. It's still unclear if Craig died before Jake and Evan left the park or when he died. Like, that part's still unclear.
Yeah.
Before Craig left to go play at the park, he gave his mother, Lisa, a big warm hug and kiss. That was the last time she saw him. Thanks, Dylan, for ending it like that. Wow. Just wanted to remember that this sweet little boy died.
Jesus.
And all he wanted was some fucking friends. And fucking Evan and Jake. Who the fuck? You know, it's so weird that Evan turned out, I guess, slightly normal. We don't really know his rantings online. But then Jake, what the fuck, homie?
Well, was he released?
Isn't that what we read? He was released and he got married to somebody in prison.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Yeah. I'm like, isn't that what we read together?
Isn't that what we just went through? Oof, Jesus.
I was pretty heavy. I don't want to read about autistic children being murdered.
No,
anymore.
it was pretty rough.
Yeah.
Just because you want to be a killing spree person.
What a weird motive.
Go
And
play
what a
video
weird
games.
direction this all took.
Yeah.
And then Jake turned out to be a total dick.
Well, he had some traumas. in
Could
his
you
life, I
imagine?
guess.
Let's imagine a world where you're like, hey, I want to be a dude. And
No.
you're with your best friends with me, right? And you're like, hey, I want to be a dude. And I'm like, hey, I'll fucking support you however you want. And then you like, psych, I don't want to be a dude anymore. I want to be a girl. And I'm like, yay, okay, let's be life partners together. We'll be lesbian. I don't know, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And we're living our best life, how everybody wants us to live our life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're living our best life. And then I'm like, you know what's really fucking stupid, Aaron?
That whole thing you went through back then?
Yeah!
Because then I, as a person, would be like, you know what else is stupid? That whole thing you went through back then.
Yeah!
And then I would follow behind you on the streets when you're yelling at women outside of an abortion clinic, quote unquote.
Exactly!
And I would yell at you. Did you know he fucking murdered somebody?
Yeah, blood on his clothing.
Blood right here on
Let
his
him
clothing.
die, ran away, and then went and played video games like a psycho. I wouldn't care about this fucker's opinion.
Yeah. This guy
What
can't, you
the-
have no room to fucking talk, sir.
The motherfucking audacity on the motherfucking people that be in this motherfucking streets lately.
But also, that shows you right there that you have no idea who somebody is.
Honestly, you really don't. And you don't know what people are thinking or what they're
No.
capable of. Like, it's all made
Yeah.
up and the points don't matter.
Yeah.
Like, there's
Well,
nothing you can do.
I went to Planned Parenthood as a teenager.
Girl, I did too. That's
I-
the reason I didn't make babies before the time I
Quite
made babies.
Literally. The
Yeah.
entire reason I didn't have babies, that I was even allowed to have birth control and all of that. And
Yeah.
I would get yelled at all the time by the abortion people outside. And they're, you're
Yeah,
killing
I
a
remember
baby. And I'm
that.
like, bitch, I'm getting condoms. Like,
yeah,
fuck you.
Yeah. I'm getting checked for STDs.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, and they'd like block your path, scream in your face, and at the time, I'm like, oh, they're just like, I don't know, religious nuts or something, like,
Yeah.
just trying to impose their ideals
How
on me.
you know?
But now, like, it could have been a fucking murderer.
Ugh,
Could have been anyone.
I
could've
know.
been
Now you look at
anyone.
these people differently.
Yeah,
I see that, and I just think, and I think about this a lot in a lot of things in my life, and maybe that's where I'm at in my therapeutic journey. But I look at it and I feel not sorry for them because I don't have that much, like, it doesn't go that deep. But I'm just like, oh, what a sad life. Or I guess maybe they're lucky. They never had to experience what to do with all this, you know?
right.
Like, either a sad life because you never got birth control and so you didn't get to fuck around and have fun. Or a sad life because you just never did anything. I don't know. I don't know. Like,
yeah.
I
Well,
forgot,
sad
I
because
forgot my second point already, what I was saying.
sad because they didn't get to enjoy like
Or you're very lucky and blessed that you never had to try to have an abortion. Like, you
Right.
don't know anybody's fucking story or how you got here.
yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
So back the fuck up and mind your business with your bullhorn. You can have your opinions, but you don't need to, like, harass people.
Yeah. Mind
Just
your
quietly
business
hold
with
your sign.
bullhorns.
You're right. I remember that, though. And they'd, like, just harass you as you walked in.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember being at a Planned Parenthood and one of the fucking, like, boyfriends or something freaked out and, like, kicked a trash can and was, like, screaming because he wanted to see his girlfriend and she was in the back and they were like, it's like HIPAA law. I can't let you know if she's here or not.
Yeah. Oh God.
I was
Yeah,
like,
there were
this-
some shady ones that I went
It's
to
shady
too.
in there sometimes, man.
Yeah, there was a nicer one, and that was the one with the security guard outside. But that was also the one that always had the abortion people outside screaming at you.
Well, that's the one that you could get the abortion at.
Well, yeah, I didn't. Not that it would matter, but
Right, right. Well, yeah, it's a clinic. It
Yeah.
does abortions, and you can get pills, and you can get condoms. Like, there's multiple purposes
it's
for
a
going in that
medical
building.
facility.
Yeah, you don't even. It's like standing outside of a fucking heart clinic and being like,
Mhm.
"No more salt, no more salt." Some of those motherfuckers need salt for their heart.
Some of those motherfuckers need. I remember I would walk out with my brown bag of fucking goodies, which was like a year's supply of birth control, condoms,
lube.
whatever the fuck
Yeah.
they wanted to toss in there. I'm like, hell yeah, grab
Plan
bag.
B.
Can I get stickers too?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
whatever. Put it
was
on
I
the
a
bag.
good girl?
Yeah, exactly. Was I brave?
Oh, that's your alarm to tell you got to get your kids.
I gotta fucking go.
Ooh.
Sorry, that was loud as fuck.
That's all good.
Yeah, but I would always walk out with the brown bag. And I always wanted to, like, come out with tears down my face and holding the bag and, like, maybe a grease stain on the bag or something to
Like
make those people think that it was, like,
a fetus in the
my
bag.
baby. And then they let me
Like,
keep
they
it.
would send you out with your fetus.
Right. But
Well, that's what they probably fucking
think
think because they're so goddamn uneducated out there.
Exactly. So I was always like, I just want to throw the bag, like, in the dumpster on my way out crying. Like, you were right. Or whatever they want to hear.
Do you want to see it?
Right.
Oh my God, we're so awful. I love it.
So are they.
I know. Fucking stupid. Anyway, so thanks, Dill, for that terrible.
Yeah, way to go. Sorry, it went off the rails at the end there.
You know, this whole thing is pretty not PC. So if this is your first time listening to us, go listen to other things if we've offended you too much. You might actually still like us.
I mean, you might. Or you might be like, wow, they are wildly out of touch.
Actually, you're right. Or if this is your first time and you're like, loved it, keep going.
Yeah,
There's some gems back there.
It gets better.
Oh my God. Okay, so if you guys want to check out pictures pertaining to this case, go to our social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, X, and TikTok. Our handle is at ISGD Podcast. If you're on Facebook, come join us on the goddamn pod group. There's no responsibility. You just get to come hang out and say hi. And other than to be kind to each other, that's your responsibility. If you want to email us any case suggestions or just to be like, what's up, ladies? You can do that at isgdpodcast@gmail.com or snail mail us at
P.O. Box 2764, Spring Valley, California, 91979.
And we hope you motherfuckers have a great week. Bye.
Bye.